Hello everyone, Garrett Lee with you for Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM, a very special edition of Career Chat, as I'm joined by Matthew Ticcino, otherwise known as Automattic, audio engineer at Philadelphia's Milkboy Studios. Matt, thank you for joining me. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty well, Thanks for having me.
Look, we're just going to dive right into it. Tell me, what's it like in the life of an audio engineer?
It's just like anybody else's day, I wake up, I'm not a morning person, so I take my time kind of getting up and rolling out of bed, I slowly wake up. But then I try to get my day started by going to the gym and getting a big boost of energy, drinking my pre-workout. That usually gives me a nice little caffeine boost, because I am probably the only engineer in the entire world that does not drink coffee. And I would love to know if there are other engineers out there that do not drink coffee. It'd be very interesting to see if that's a thing at all with anybody else. I like to listen to music that I'm going to be working on, that day, just to kind of get myself in the headspace, maybe some references, I listen to everything in my car, so I know these speakers better than any other speakers, because when I'm driving to all my sessions, I'm driving to Philly, I'm driving anywhere, I'm listening to music on these speakers. I know exactly how much time I want to give myself, 2 hours before I leave for the studio, 2 hours before I leave, I do that. And then I leave an hour before I have to be there, depending upon how much setup needs to be done, of course. But if it's just vocals and it's somebody I've worked with multiple times, I like to arrive half an hour early, the latest, and kind of make sure get signal flow, make sure everything sounds good, clean, and the room looks clean, and I can dim some lights, set a vibe. As an engineer, if you say the wrong thing, and if you're like, get a better take, obviously I'm not going to say that, but I remember in college there were people that were like, do that better. Think about it from an artist perspective. Someone's telling you to do it better. All right, well, how? What was wrong with that take? I thought it was a good take. What did I do wrong? Constructive criticism is a very important thing. You have to know how to do it. I think I mentioned before, my job is very much not just, pushing buttons and getting sounds and making things sound cool and making records. It's also being somebody's therapist and understanding the emotion, where they're at emotionally. I've had people come to me with life problems, and they just wanted to talk to somebody, and they want an ear. One thing when I listen to my references going in, it's always inspirational when I'm driving over the bridge. I don't know what it is about it. I'm just driving over. I just look at the city, the line, and I'm just jamming out to whatever I'm jamming out to, and that really has a big emotional impact on my day. It's weird, I know, but I feel like I'm like a person in my own movie when I do that. It's like the soundtrack to your life, and I love Philadelphia. It's just so much charm, and it's got such a good vibe.
The most interesting part of living with an audio engineer, I would definitely say perception of music, or even just the involvement of music on a daily basis. But even when we both enjoy a song, the different way in which we hear things.
I just love the tones they get, the guitar. It's a bass guitar, but it's the tones are just fantastic. They get some good sounds. Because that's a bass. Now, this isn't always the time that I'm driving in. There are many times where I'm coming in, it's like 8 o'clock at night, and that's like when I'm starting. I'm sure there's gonna be some more. There's gonna be times in my life where it's gonna be starting even later. I remember when I was doing, when I was assisting for the Uzi sessions, I would go in at like midnight. It was like a midnight start time. You know, and I mean, I was just assisting, so I wasn't like actually like doing anything really. I was just kind of there, the representative for the studio, but I would start at 12 and end at 12. Like midnight to noon.
The scheduling is definitely trying. It's almost like living with an on-call ER doctor 24/7, 365 days a year.
And now let's talk about something that everyone likes to hear, a little bit about the names you work with. I know some pretty high-profile people have recorded at the studios in Philadelphia. If you could speak on some of those.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great talent on many levels, on the local level, on the international level. People that that a lot of people know. Lil Uzi Vert, Young Thug, Trippie Redd, Pink Sweats. A lot of hip hop, R&B. Got some pop people coming through, and it's a lot of great opportunities. I'll put it that way. So tell us, man, how much energy you got right now that you just got off the phone with Playboy Cardi's manager? The energy, I can see the waveform got big, dude. What's that?
I wanted to talk to him. Like, fuck, he said FaceTime when we get out the booth, you're in the middle of recording.
Yeah. No, that's good. He gets it, though. I mean, he's a Playboy Cardi, the same thing with Playboy Cardi all the time, you know?
Do it again.
No, I think it was cool.
If you get it away from my tango, I feel like tango. I keep it came ready to blow up your mango.
Okay. Ooh, you can totally like do like a Young Thug voice on that.
Oh, come on.
A bunch of crazy.
I got distracted by my Mamacita and so fat. And I'm in Puerto Rico and I try to catch a cat.
Yeah. You know exactly what I'm saying.
Tango.
We never know what to expect. J Money goes in, he has a beat that his buddy made. He'll come in not knowing anything what he's gonna do. He doesn't write anything down. It's completely freestyle, and we'll do it, line by line, and based on our, us collaborating back and forth is what allows the song to end up being what the song is. I feel like we made some really good music. Sky's the limit.
English, but you can say Englo.
I love it.
What?
Yeah.
Make up your own
Bro, that was
shit.
so good.
Yeah, you can say anything there, yeah.
Say, Poppy, I don't know no English.
What? Somebody said like that somewhere.
I feel like tango. I keep it came ready to blow up your mango.
Anglo or Anglo?
Anglo, like English.
Englo.
So I always try to keep things as natural as possible with all of my clients. When they come into the studio, they want an experience. I like people to come in, have an experience, have fun, creating music, because at the end of the day, that is what we're doing. We're creating music.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't get the other one yet.
All right, that's it. All right, I appreciate you, man.
I think you just gotta settle up for the last hour, right?
Huh?
Think about settle up the last hour? Jay, when he said you
Then I start paying you a couple $100 a week towards the budget. We
All right,
might
guys.
have a $1,500 budget for this one.
One for the can.
One for the camera. Hey, check it out. It's J Money and Chop, but we signed out of this motherfucker. We got the best engineer in the world. I mean, we gonna make sure he gets some Grammys, you hear me?
Over and out.
And we got the best, you know what I mean, director right here on the phone. It's a fucking bomb squad. The guy behind the camera, he doing his motherfucking thing. If you ain't fucking with him, you ain't fucking with nobody. You're a thot, bitch.
Yeah, flipping and showing who you is.
get real, it'll be fun. It'll be good vibes. Yeah. Now imagine that at 12 hours a day. Sometimes 16. The expectation, people walk in and they see the records on the wall. They see Lil Uzi, you know, it's like, that's a rack, Sanguine Paradise, all that stuff. And they expect to walk in and sound like that. I've had pop artists come through, you know, where we'll record an entire verse 8 times, 10 times. And then we'll go back and we'll listen line by line and we'll pick the best from it. And I'll say, all right, this take, you know, go above and beyond, exaggerate everything. And those are really cool takes because there's times where they might do something totally different because they're going with in the moment. They're going on the, like,
You get to
you
have
know,
fun.
exactly.
Which
They're
is
having
really
fun
what
with
it is.
it, you know, and that's at the end of the day, you're making music. So what I'll do, I like doing, I call it the Rick Rubin approach, where and he talks about it all the time, where he turns lights off and dims things, has candles lit, and you know, so people walk in and they're just calm, they're at peace, and they can just focus on the creative stuff. And I'm quick enough, and I try to understand their workflow to where they don't even have to think about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They forget they're in the booth, and they're like, dude, like, you know, they'll tell me I was at this studio and like I had to tell him what I wanted. Like I told the engineer what I wanted. With me, it was like, dude, I just went into the booth and I didn't have to think about it. And that's what makes I think that's what makes a great engineer. Somebody that can allow the artist to be the artist and not have them, they won't worry about anything but what they're doing. This job is you have to separate yourself at times, because you have to understand it's not your record. If they want you to be collaborative, do it. I mean, that's also great too. But you have to read the room. You have to read the artist. My job isn't just getting good sounds and pushing buttons, you know, and dialing in different, you know, let's EQ this, compress this. I mean, that's the geeky stuff that I like. Everybody in the room has a different assignment, and if they all focus on their thing, great records have been made by doing that. I think it's a very efficient way of recording and getting a song completed.
Well, Matt, thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. I would love to talk to you even more, but we do have to wrap things up. One final thought on things that we talked about here today.
I would say, I guess, you know, go with your gut. Your gut's it's a very great thing. You know, it's something that you should definitely kind of, because that's instincts. You know what I mean? You know, like me getting into, like, you know, my career was kind of a leap of faith, you know, like it was a jump, because not that it's like, you know, super difficult, but I know people that I went to school with that aren't in a recording studio, and that's what they had intended on doing. So you really have to make the decisions that you feel are best for you. You know, whether it is going to school and learning and then getting an internship and putting in years of interning free work to get into the chair, you know, and then of course everything builds from there. But or it's don't go to school, you know, and work perfect your craft on your own. You have to be passionate about it. That's the most important thing. You do not get into this industry if you're looking for, you know, if you're looking for money. You get into this industry because you love music and you want to help people, you know, make great music and music that they want to make. So be selfless, be ambitious, and go with your gut.